Resident Evil 4.
The original Resident Evil 4, which was released 18 years ago, is one of my favorite games of all time. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not what you might call a Resident Evil veteran, as I've only been a fan of the series for only 2 years, starting with Resident Evil 7.
I know you didn't mean to hurt me.
In fact, by the time this video is out, it's only been 2 years since I first played the original RE4. However, that does not change my thoughts on the game. The original still holds up for me, and I will never forget the first time that I played it. After the release of the Resident Evil 3 remake, it left fans disappointed. It didn't hold up to the standards set up by the Resident Evil 2 remake, with major aspects of the game such as the clock tower and gravedigger being cut from the game entirely. So, when rumors and leaks started surfacing for a Resident Evil 4 remake, fans were rightfully concerned. That was until in June of last year, during the PlayStation State of Play, Capcom announced Resident Evil 4 Remake. They had balls to show the release date first, then the actual trailer. At that moment, I knew the remake would be in good hands. So today, I will be reviewing Resident Evil 4 2023. First, let's talk about the story. The Resident Evil 4 remake follows the same plot as the original game. You play as Leon S. Kennedy, a government agent tasked with rescuing the president's daughter from a cult in rural Spain. The story is still as engaging as ever, with plenty of twists and turns to keep you on the edge of your seat. One thing that I like is that they made some of the most confusing scenes of the original and made them make sense. For example, when Leon and Ashley get separated in the castle for the first time. In the original, Ashley ran away from Leon like a brat when he asked if she was okay.
You alright?
I'm fine! Leave me alone!
Ashley, wait! Ashley!
What's going on?
In the remake, Sadler takes control of Ashley for a brief moment and separates them by force.
Looks like the right place. You okay?
I think so. Instead of worrying about her, worry about your own skin. Foolish little lamb. Temperance, child.
Ashley.
No nonsensical traps. It's perfect. Another huge improvement is the character development, especially when it comes to everyone's favorite Spaniard, Luis Serra.
Estaba recontento porque había llegado el 18 tiki tiki.
His screen time in the original was minimal, only showing up around 5 times throughout the game. In the remake, however, his role is greatly expanded upon, having more screen time and overall more importance to the lore. If you're a lore buff, such as myself, you will definitely enjoy this game a lot more than the original.
Tiki tiki tiki.
Next, let's talk about the graphics. The game looks stunning. It has been given a complete visual overhaul with new textures, lighting, and character models. The environments are rich and detailed, and the game's lighting system creates an ominous atmosphere that adds to the game's tension. It is definitely by far the best looking RE Engine game to date. Locations that lacked detail in the original have been given a huge facelift. For example, the shed near the church. In the original, it's just a small table with a couple of wall-mounted shelves. In the remake, however, it's a full-on tool shed. It's amazing. let's talk about the gameplay. The gameplay is very similarly to the original, but there are some notable changes. The controls follow a similar pattern to the Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes, with the addition of the parry mechanic. While parrying isn't new to the Resident Evil series, as far as I can tell, it was first introduced in Resident Evil 6, it is perfected here. You can parry pretty much anything: axes, bats, shovels, and even a fist. The controls overall feel much smoother and more responsive than the original. While the original's controls weren't bad per se, they are definitely outdated. Although, if you want a control scheme that is similar to the original, there is an option for that in the settings. The pacing has also been slightly adjusted to be more in line with modern games, however, the core gameplay mechanics remain the same. Sound design. The Resident Evil 4 Remake features updated sound effects and a revamped soundtrack. The new sound effects for the firearms, for example, are fantastic. They actually sound like devastating weapons of mass destruction rather than a pea shooter. The game's soundtrack has been completely remade with a more cinematic approach, and it sounds fantastic. One of my favorite tracks in the remake is when you go to save or customize your case. It's like they took a bit of the original save theme and mixed it with Serenity, another iconic track from the original game. The music adds to the game's tension and creates a sense of unease that is essential to the survival horror genre. One of my favorite tracks is a boss fight, Del Lago. It sounds amazing in my opinion, and I love listening to it. It's great. Now, like any Resident Evil game, the RE4 Remake has replay value. After beating the game once, you unlock Leon's iconic Mafia costume and professional mode, which I'll complain about later. Like Resident Evil 3 Remake and Village, there are challenges you can complete for points. By the way, Capcom, can you please stop calling them completion points or whatever the hell you call them? It looks really bad when abbreviated. Please. You can use those points to purchase items such as bonus weapons, accessories, and models.
Where's everyone going? Bingo?
And, like the crackhead I am, I completed every single one. As much as I love this remake, I still have some nitpicks with it. For one, 2 costumes from the original game are missing, Leon's RPD outfit and Ashley's pop star outfit. And while we do have a select amount of original costumes, they are locked behind a paywall. And yes, I did get the deluxe edition, but I feel like the costume should have been given for free, or at the very least have different costumes for people who didn't buy the deluxe edition. Another thing that's missing is the RE4 which you unlocked for being professional in the original game. You wanna know what you get instead? A gas mask and or the Chicago typewriter. By the way, the gas mask only gives you aim assist on all difficulties, which isn't even that useful anyway. And while yes, the Chicago typewriter is pretty good, you don't get infinite ammo until you fully upgrade it. So what's the point? I hope that once Separate Ways gets added, they make the PRL an unlockable bonus alongside the RPD and Popstar outfit. And now, the sole reason as to why I almost dropped making this video, professional mode. Now, let me give you a more accurate listing of difficulties right here. There you go. Professional is one of the most punishing difficulties I have ever experienced in a video game. I felt like I was playing Dark Souls throughout the whole experience. Now, on paper, it doesn't sound too bad. The best unlock in the game is the cat ears accessory, which grants infinite ammo for most weapons. Now, how do you go on unlocking it? You have to be professional with an S+ rank. Sounds simple, right? No. In Professional, if you want S+, you need to beat the game within 5 hours and 30 minutes, save 15 times or less, and not use New Game Plus weapons. That doesn't sound too bad either until you realize that parrying is limited to only perfect parries which require pixel perfect execution, and there is no autosaves. You have to pick your saves carefully, and it's very punishing. In my personal opinion, I think it's completely unfair if you don't use bonus weapons. It was so bad that I had to buy the stupid upgrade tickets to get through the damn thing. The fact that I had to spend money to get a perfect rank on Professional really says a lot about it. And yes, I know there's people out there who have done it without the bonus weapons or the stupid tickets, but I'm not a G-Fuel addict, so leave me alone. In conclusion, the Resident Evil 4 Remake is a fantastic game. It's a great update to a classic survival horror game, the graphics are stunning, the gameplay is smooth, and the story is just as engaging as ever. The sound design is top notch, and the game offers plenty of replay value, even if it has its flaws. If you're a fan of survival horror games, or you're just looking for a great game to play, Resident Evil 4 2023 is definitely worth checking out. My name is Silver Ghost, or the Cheryl Main, and thank you for watching.